Jason&Jabari.
What's up, guys? This is Jason from the Jason&Jabari Gaming, and today we are going to look at my 14th rank 3 7-star. I'm going to try to make this not a super long explanation type video, but we are going to talk about a few different things as to who I am considering. And then ultimately, obviously, we're going to do the rank up. So, first and foremost, here are the 13 rank 3 champions that I have. We have Guardian, we have Nightcrawler, Titania, Spider-Man, Sassy, Photon, Korg, Kindred, Killmonger, Spider-Ham, Juggernaut, Bullseye, and Maestro. So we're just kind of going to go class by class real quick. And then we'll kind of whittle it down like that. So first of all, out of who I actually will be taking up due to who I have will be between Cosmic and Mutant. And that is because if you guys notice, I have 2 tech champions. I have 1 Cosmic. I have 1 Mutant. I have 3 skill champions. I have 3 mystic champions. I have 3 science champions. So science, mystic, and skill, they're absolutely good. Tech, I have 2, so I need to kind of balance things out with another mutant or another cosmic. So we're going to go straight to those choices. I was telling everybody, I guess I should take off the rank 3. Should now technically go down to rank 2, and we're going to filter that out by these. Okay. All right. So I was telling everybody that I was going to do Serpent. And one of the reasons why I'm contemplating someone else is because he's unawakened. I do have 15k Titan shards, but I don't have enough to do another Titan featured, I guess, at the moment. So I don't want to wait forever, because maybe around that time when we do the next Spring of Sorrow, that's going to give me another tier 4.5. Plus I'm only grabbing tier 4.5 or tier 4 fragments or whatnot. So I'll be at 3 again, and hopefully at that point in time he'll be awakened. Mainly in Battlegrounds, I just ban him. He is a really good champion defensively. Offensively in Battlegrounds, he can win you a match, but they have to have a really terrible match in order for you to win with Serpent most of the time. But he does have Cold Snap immunity, so you could use him against the Iceman, who is fairly common in Battlegrounds to come up against nowadays. But again, their matchup needs to be pretty slow or pretty just flat out bad. And he's primarily one of the best defenders currently, so you really want to use him defensively. And since mine's only R2 unawakened, I mainly ban most people's, which he is in my deck, but that's just essentially me cutting my deck. Alright, as far as the mutant class goes, there's always Sunspot, who's really good. I've been a long time fan of Sunspot. Mine is now Sig 80, so he beats super fast in Battlegrounds. So I am considering him. Although I did for the 4th commit to taking up offensive champions. I'm more of a defender-esque type player. I like my defenders to be strong, to be dominant, and then the offense just kind of comes along. It suffers a little bit, but I'm more of a defensively minded player most of the time. But I did make the exception for the 4th to take up Juggernaut and Starkey, etc. So that way I could be a offensive threat. Even Guardian, I took him up as well. So next up, we were thinking about Domino, because everybody does Domino, right? Except for mine's only Sig 51, and now there's so many different Domino counters that I don't value her as much as I used to, although I am considering her. She's just not as strong as she used to be defensively, and I don't know about you guys, but offensively, Domino seldomly cooks. I see like 20-30 second insane fights for my opponents, but when it comes to me, she is not crit failing nothing, and she's dang sure not getting a critical bleed on them, even when they're unlucky and she's lucky. It's just primarily most of the time not happening for me. So yeah, doesn't happen very often. Even in ideal matchups where she has class advantage, i.e. a Nick Fury or something like that, she just doesn't cook for me, man. So it's kind of frustrating. Another consideration was Bishmon. I love him, but he has not been cooking for me in Battlegrounds. If he was Awakened, I think I'd like him a little bit more. He does want high Sig, but I still like him nonetheless. I do run him in most of the Battlegrounds metas. You definitely should run him in this one on defense for the chance that he gets the shock on him, because they will tick down immediately. And before they can get to their special one, 9 times out of 10, they're going to already have lost half their health. But, you know, this is just one meta. So I would never consider taking up a champion for strictly one meta. That, in my opinion, is not the route to go. As far as a rank 3, which is the highest rarity rank. If you have resources, you can do multiple rank 2s. That's a different story. Or ascensions, or even rank 5s, and so on and so forth, the lower level champions and things like that, right? But for a big decision like this, which is still the biggest decision we can potentially make right now, yeah, that's not a good idea. So yeah, as far as the cosmic class, there was Gore and Null for War. They really put in a lot of work for me for this tactic, and I really do love Null a lot. I think he's awesome. Mine is a lower Sig. Obviously, the higher Sig, the better he is. Now my Gore, however, he is high Sig. He's 120. He's up there, but I'm not a super huge fan of Gore like that. King Groot, I would love to take him up as well. He's only Sig 20. We only have one copy of him, but I don't see myself playing him in Battlegrounds. Just for War, they probably wouldn't assign me him when I go back up to high tier War. Right now, I am going to go on a bit of a break and retire for a season, maybe 2. We'll see, and then after that, I'll reassess and see what I want to do. But I'm not fully done with playing tier 1 wars, master wars, pushing and stuff like that. It's just right now I just kind of want to chill, so that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, so Sunspot, Domino, definitely Null consideration, King Groot a consideration. If Bishop was duped, I would consider him, and of course we have Serpent. And the choice that we're actually going to go with for my 14th ranked champion is going to be none other than Dust. And you guys are like, wait a minute, you didn't even talk about Dust. You are absolutely right. I didn't talk about Dust. I didn't want you guys to obviously think that I was going to do one of the ones that I talked about, so I left her for last. Dust is a really, really good champion, actually. Shout out to my leader and Officer Jelly, who rank 3'd his Dust a while ago. Shout out to the fellas who I talked to in the chat of S for leading me in this direction. And shout out to my brother Afo and Forgotten, because Dust is actually really, really good. We're going to talk about her in just a minute, but first we got to go do through this, you know, rank up part. First and foremost, Dust is pretty versatile. Now, as far as offensively, she struggles a bit when it comes to speed and Battlegrounds, but the rank 3 makes up for her lack of speed, in my opinion, because of how hard she can actually potentially hit. She is a bit of a rank up champion, a ramp up champion, sadly, but primarily most people use her on defense to trip your opponents up. I know she's unawakened, and I was talking about Bishmon being unawakened. Well, she actually doesn't need her awakened ability that much. I mean, it does benefit her a little bit, but let's go ahead and talk about that. So that's just for her sand and things like that, which is I mean, she does heavily rely around her sand abilities, but she's immune to bleed, poison, and shock, so you can't nuke her down with Guardian. The poison is actually really cool, so you know, I don't really see people running the eye bombs as much, but you know, if they had someone such as Toad or something for a specific meta, he wouldn't work too well. And of course your bleeders, there's so many, mainly the skill class or whatnot. She actually works really well against the skill class. She has some non-contact attacks, which I'm kind of all over the place here. I wanted to find it specifically to show you that she can work. I think it's her heavy attack. Yeah, so whenever the opponent has their block struck medium, so she does cause glancing when she does parries and things like that, which is, you can see right there. But I'm looking specific because I read it in her text and I want to show you guys. Not the sandstorm. I don't think that's not what I wanted to show. But the grit is actually pretty cool. If you guys don't know about the grit, that helps with unstoppable, and then she also can stop the unblockable as well. So I was thinking like JJ, she might be a decent matchup there. Of course, this has to be while her sandstorm is active, which she doesn't need that much sand to activate it. It does last for a duration of time, but I think I passed it up. Yeah, dust, light, and heavy attacks do not make contact with the opponent. So that's good for like a Tuma. That actually works against Electro, because we know we're running a lot of Electros in Battlegrounds nowadays. So you can use her light attacks and you can use her heavy attack and not make contact, which is awesome. And then of course, incoming attacks have a 100% chance to glance when she does a well-timed block, which is really good. So that helps with mitigate the block damage if you're going to use her offensively. And then where's the other one that I wanted to show you guys, that she has a cool ability. It is physical damage, block, sandstorm. Sorry, I'm trying to find it, guys. So we already talked about the grit, but she had, now the grit helps with the unstoppable, but she also has one, I guess was just in her normal text, which I'm going to read out loud, of course. I just need to find it first because that's what I actually want to say is pretty cool. Okay guys, actually that's part of her awakened ability. It's part of the steadfast, which I did briefly go over, saying that her awakened ability does benefit her, and that's only towards the skill champions that go unblockable, such as Kingpin or Nick Fury, something like that, which is still beneficial. It's still helpful. Yeah man, I'm actually really excited to have Dust. Hopefully I can awaken her. I will be opening up Titan, Crystal, like I said at the end of Summer of Sorrow. But let me know your thoughts, like and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next one.